What's up, everybody? Brian Tong here. We know that Samsung made the announcement for all their new foldables, and I had to make sure that I got my own hands on the new Samsung Z Fold7. Yeah, you have the Flip7, the Flip7 FE. We'll talk about this later, but it's all about the Fold7 and really, after all these years, being able to get to that form factor that everyone can say, okay, we have arrived, this device has arrived. So what I did is I headed out to Glendale, California. You have the Americana Outdoor Mall, and there is a Samsung experience store where they have all the phones laid out for you to touch, feel, see what you think. So let's get on to my first hands-on impressions. All right, everybody, so here it is in hand. Yes, this is tethered down because I'm at the Samsung experience store here in Glendale, but check this out. This is the new Samsung Z Fold7, and this is beautiful, 4.2 millimeters thin, and this is the type of product that really, it translates no matter whether you look at it in video, whether you look at it in pictures or photos, or whether it's in hand. I mean, this feels really to me like a whole new phone. This is really incredible. So you have it opened here, looks great, and then when we close it here on the hinge, this is a titanium hinge. It's going to be more sturdy, but this also allows it to get down to 8.9 millimeters thick. The other part about this is just a hair thicker than the USB-C port, just a tiny bit, right? We talked about 4.2 millimeters, and the biggest thing that Samsung said they did is that, right, previous ones had S Pen support. That was an additional layer into the display that added a little thickness, so there is no more S Pen support here at all. That might be a bummer for some of you, but I think in the overall user likes the fact that, hey, this is as thin as they possibly can make it. You also have, right, a better format in hand. I hated that candy bar size that they used to use. It just didn't feel natural. It felt thick and chunky in hand. So this is 6.5 inches outer display, 2520 by 1080p resolution. And then when we open this thing up, right, 8-inch display, 2184 by 1968 resolution. You also have the 10 megapixel selfie camera, no longer hidden. They just put the punch out hole there, so that is there. And then water and dust resistant IP48, just like the previous two models. Starting price here, what do you want to know? $1,999. I mean, we're here at the point where the form factor, this is incredible. This is really as thin as you want to be. It feels pretty much like a regular phone when it's folded. It really does. It's not thick and chunky. It really isn't. But the price starting at $1999, that's for 256 gigs. I believe there's a promo. If you pre-order that, you get 512 gigs of storage, and then you bump up to 1 terabyte if you want. But $1,999 is the starting price on this, but really incredible and looks good, feels good. And we are in really at that point where foldables have arrived from a form factor standpoint, and it's just gonna come down to price and ecosystem. All right, let's do something a little fun here. This is the Z Fold 6 on the right side, Z Fold 7 on the left side, and just let's look at the size comparison. We talked about how, right, this at its thinnest when it's closed, 8.9 millimeters. This guy, just from a year ago, 12.1 millimeters when closed. You can see the significance in the hinge, the significance in the thickness when it's closed. I mean, this truly feels like, I said it before, almost like two different phones here. Here's the rear side, back side, right? So the camera design, yes, it's what you expect, but also the weight, I think that's super understated. How it feels sturdy, but how light and elegant this feels side by side. Let's also now take a moment to open these up. So we're gonna open this guy up. Okay, so we have these opened up, and let's look at here again. 4.2 millimeters, 5.6 millimeters. These are two totally different beasts. It took us 7 years to get here, but there's just a little quick comparison of the two together. Fold them up, and there you go. All right, now let's jump over and check out the Z Flip7. This now gets an edge-to-edge front cover display. This is really taking a page out of Motorola. You got that extra screens real estate down in the corner. It can display things like the time or date. Over here, I clicked on there, and that was a AI-generated weather summary. It does sit right next to the camera cutouts, but I prefer the bigger screen because it just gives you more things to do, more things to see, and the more screen, the better. It's slimmer by about a millimeter if you compared it from the previous Flip 6, so that's really not noticeable. In hand, it pretty much feels like the same phone. You're going to get a larger battery at 4,300 milliampere hours, and then also this gets new support for DeX and the Gemini Assistant on the front cover screen. This is also water and dust resistant IP48, just like last year. This model starts at $1,099, But the edge-to-edge cover, if this is your form factor that you like, you might be into this. Okay, now let's jump over to the Z Flip7 FE. They're trying to make this their budget foldable phone. This starts at $899. You can see there is no edge-to-edge screen, but at this price, I'm not going to get too into this yet, but this price, $899, I don't know if that cuts it because Motorola has a similarly designed foldable, $699. It's a $200 difference. So I think that unless you're a real diehard Samsung fan that has to have a foldable and you don't want to spend that much money, this might be a solution, but when you look at the entire market, it's not as compelling. All right, so let's bring things back to the Z Fold7. I'm going to tell you right now, I was so impressed with what I saw. And yes, we know that Oppo has their Find N5. We've got Honor with their Magic V5, which are international phones that are incredibly slim. But here, let's say in Korea, specifically in the US, I mean, Samsung has that name out here. And when I look at this form factor and I feel this form factor, this is it. This is really the final form factor. I don't know if you want to get any thinner than that. I like how much lighter it feels. And now when you're talking about a foldable, now that we have the finalized form factor, and we got to give Samsung a lot of credit because this has been 7 years in the making. There were sometimes nicer jumps from the thin candy bar to a little more like a normal screen, but I never really liked how thin it was. Then we got, right, the thin. Now we're at a point where you don't really want it any thinner. So if someone says, I want a foldable that is as thick, that isn't really any thicker than my current phone, well, the Z Fold7 is it. I forgot to shoot it, but when I closed it and I put it next to an iPhone 16 Pro, it was just like maybe a millimeter thicker. You just felt a little bit. So we're there now, right? The form factor is there. What it comes down to now is really two things. The price, starting at $1,999. I get it. And then also the ecosystem. Those are now going to be the two determining factors if someone is going to buy a foldable or not because of where we are in the market and how technology has advanced. So if $1,999, let's just call it $2,000, is too much for you, I would like to see in the future, in the next year or two, these foldables come down to something like $1,700. Realistically, I think $1,500 to feel nice, but these are still pricey devices, two displays, they're doing a lot of things. $1,700 feels reasonable, somewhere in that space. Now, we know, here's the funny thing, right? Apple's next foldable has reportedly been under production. The display itself is being made by Samsung Display. Apple is, the reports are saying, okay, it's one of the big features it has is that's going to have reduce the crease, almost an invisible crease. We'll wait and see how that happens because it's a foldable thing. Foldable things have creases. I don't know if that crease is going to be so smooth that everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh. I think the really thing that's holding people back is just ecosystem now. Price-wise, I feel like the Apple user who has always been riding or dying with Apple, they're going to look at that price and they're going to look at, I've always wanted a foldable and I've been holding out for 7 years now. There's a lot of pent-up demand for that user. I'm not saying everybody. They're going to get that one, right? But it's really available now. To me, there's nothing that stands out that is a bugaboo to the Z Fold7. I will say when we talk about form factors, I absolutely loved let's call it like the passport book, like dimensions of the original Pixel Fold. Now they went away from that with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. They went back to pretty much like your standard, closed phone and open up, right? Look, this passport design was so cool. It really was more pocketable, but it obviously was too thick at the time. And then you look at something like the Z Fold 6 here. This freaking now not only feels like a dinosaur, how significant the changes from the 6 to 7, it's a monumental change. This is where we talk about technology taking that next step, that next level, that big jump. That's what's happened with the Z Fold7. So kudos to Samsung again. They're the ones that have been really pushing this category, and other companies have been reacting and responding. And what Apple's going to have theirs out reportedly next year, so 8 years later. And we'll see how whenever Apple enters a market, it does tend to change, give it more visibility, give it a little bump. It's like the Apple effect. We'll see what happens next year. So all I'm trying to say now is if you want a great foldable design, you can get it. The only thing that's stopping you now is price and ecosystem. So I really would have to say the Z Fold7, the foldable has now really arrived from a form factor standpoint. It's just those other two factors. So I loved it. I thought it was amazing to hold in hand. You know, I wasn't at a Samsung event. I went out to the store on my own just to feel it out, get my own thoughts and opinions, and I absolutely loved it. So I do have one on pre-order. You can pre-order today. It's coming out July 25th. But there you go, my first hands-on impressions of the Samsung Z Fold 5 and yeah, the Flip 7 and Flip 7 FE. But it's all about the Fold 7, all right? So we'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Until next time, peace and love.